Well, the US wants Australia to up its defence spend to 3.5% of GDP. That's about 1.5% higher than current levels, because of its view that China is planning to make a move on Taiwan by 2027. That's actually the time frame that we brought you in our latest documentary regarding China and Taiwan. Well, joining us live now is the Senator Jacqui Lambie. Jacqui, geez, tough work getting back into the Senate. Are you relieved?
I am a little bit relieved, I have to be honest. Otherwise, your brother would have been unemployed this morning, mate, I can assure you.
That went down to the wire? Why was it that case?
Oh, I think it always is. We always get that 6 or 7%. So, and I think we were down 1% like the others were out there. Labor just performed really, really well. You could see that coming in the last 2 or 3 weeks. So I think that we all missed out on some of that, as well as that, mate. I just didn't have that money to spend because the last 18 months, I rely on the average punter out there, and they just have not had money, mate. You know, they're feeling it in their hip pocket. So that was really difficult. My body just won't stand at those polling booths anymore for 8 hours a day. And I'm not asking other people to go and do it if I can't do it myself. So, you know, I made it very clear, Pete, about 3 months ago that this would be my last go. I'll be 60 after this 6 years. So I'm more than happy to pass over the torch then, mate. I'm getting old.
Well, look, I'm glad you're back because I reckon you're a great voice for the nation, Jacqui Lambie. So well done. So now on to this question of the day. What do you make of Pete Hegseth's intervention here?
Of the what? Sorry, mate?
Of 3.5. So Pete Hegseth saying that our defence spend should get to 3.5%. So that's way above what the current level is. What do you make of that?
I just asked Donald Trump to give us our money back for our submarines, mate. Well, we were on cue for this morning. I'll be honest with you, but look, now is not. It'd be nice to lift our defence spending. There is no doubt about that. Things are pretty tough out there at the moment, but I think it's more the waste. We waste so much money in defence procurement, and that's where we should be looking. We've been saying that for years. So stop skipping over the obvious. We have a lot of waste going on with defence, and when we buy defence material and the way that we waste it. And you've only got to see those submarines, mate. $4 billion so far, and we haven't got one scrap of bloody steel sitting in a harbour yet ready to go. I mean, that is just disgusting waste at its best.
So part of the argument from Hegseth's point of view on the 3.5% is because he came in hot over the weekend with the claim that China is about to make a move on Taiwan by 2027, so not far away. China says, don't meddle in our affairs. But given what Hegseth has said and given all the action around the Indo-Pacific at the moment, do you feel like a raid is coming? And what should we do about that?
I don't know. Have you seen the size of the Chinese army? That's the first thing. And the second thing is this. Have you seen the condition that ours is in? This is a problem that we've had. We've seen this. We've been through a Royal Commission for 3 years. It pulled not just Department of Veterans Affairs apart, but also what was left of defence. We have a personnel crisis in our military, and something needs to be done.
No, that's
and the only way young people are going to go and join is when people in that uniform go out there and brag how great that job is. And right now, until you get the right mentoring and you get the right leadership in our defence, that is not going to turn around tomorrow. And that is the biggest problem you have with our national security right now. People do not want to join defence, and people do not want to stay in. Mate.
So what you're saying is that if we get to this point where China makes a move on Taiwan, the US gets involved, asks us for help, well, there's not much help we can give.
No, I don't believe there is much help. We are absolutely exhausted. 20 years we followed them into the Middle East. We are still picking up the pieces from that, and we will be picking that up, I reckon, for the next 5 years, without doubt. Right now, our troops are not in the condition to be in a war zone. Okay, maybe peacekeeping, but sure as hell not in a war zone, mate. No way in hell.
Okay. Labor's super tax, Jacqui, what do you make of that?
Yeah, I think Labor's super tax is an absolute joke, to be honest with you. I feel sorry for those farmers out there, those superannuants who do their own super and invest in it. They're really going to be targeted. We do know that a lot of farmers out there that they may have asset rich that looks on the books, mate, but when it comes to that cash, there is no loose cash out there for those farmers. We also know this is also going to hit the judges. Now, the judges, if they get an exemption from this super stuff, then quite frankly, if I was those farmers and other people out there, I'd be taking this all the way to the High Court because it's really poor performance if the Labor Party, so they don't have to take these judges through the High Court themselves, They don't have to take judges to the High Court themselves if the Labor Party actually gives them an exemption. So watch this space. Watch this space. There is no exemption. It's one in, all in, and try your luck. Because quite frankly, I think Jim Chalmers has got a massive problem here.
Well, I mean, is there any way you would support it? Perhaps if it was indexed from 3 million above, or if they just drop the taxing of unrealised gains entirely?
Yeah, I just don't think that right now that 3 million, certainly it's, 3 million in today's money form, especially when you've got it on paper, when you're owning farms, is not a hell of a lot of money. Okay, they could go up and put that rate up, the CPI each year. That's fine, but quite frankly, I just don't understand why he's having a fight why does he need to take this fight up? Isn't there bigger things that we can be working on? I mean, we have a lot of kids out there that are homeless. They're most at risk. They don't want to talk about boot camps. They want to go for the easy, low-hanging fruit. Well, you know what? It's not going to be easy, and you'll have a fight like hell on your hands if you take on the super stuff here. And I warned Jim Chalmers about that this morning.
All right. Thank you, Jacqui. Good to see you. We'll talk to you again next week.